I remember when we used to sing that song, We Shall Overcome.
Right.
We sing it valiantly, but our mindset was, wow, how long is it going to take us?
A lot to do.
Yeah.
Freedom Now movement, hear me. We are requesting all citizens to move into Washington, to go by plane, by car, bus, any way that you can get there. This is an urgent request. Please join. Go to Washington.
I must say it's really very nostalgic and moving for me to be back here 60 years after the March on Washington.
What brought you here? How did you wind up at August 28th, 1963?
1963. So in my case, and I've thought about this, what brought me to the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom? Part of it was my religious upbringing. I'm Jewish, and I was raised in a religious family, and the Bible was the truth, the original belief of our Jewish and Christian faith, which is that we're not here by accident. We're here as a result of an act of creation by God, and one of the results of that is that we were all created equally.
That's right, equally.
Equally, as our faith tells us, but also as our Declaration and Constitution as Americans brought me
you
here.
had intentionality. You wanted to come.
Yeah.
And you did come.
Yeah.
60 years ago.
Right. How about you?
So I was still in high school.
Yeah.
But I was the youth coordinator for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference led by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
So I was one of the youth student organizers getting people to come. So I got a lot of busload of folk from my hometown of Oxford, North Carolina, to come up to the March on Washington. The theme was jobs and freedom. Jobs and freedom.
Right.
But undergirding the quest for jobs and freedom was equality.
Right.
Was racial equality, social equality. It's interesting that 60 years ago, Joe, blacks and Jews worked together.
Closely.
Stood together, we marched together.
Yeah.
And we took sacrifice together, took risks together.
Right.
And sometimes, 60 years later, we have to remind people of America's authentic past.
Right.
In the Bible, it says the truth will set you free. Well, you got to get that truth. And we're living in a time where there's some dispute about what is truth, what is history.
Right.
Democrats, Republicans, independents working together, blacks and whites, Jews working together.
Yeah.
We need a return of that. So we dare not lose sight or lose that sense of purpose.
Right.
And the relevance of what happened 60 years ago to what's going on today in America. We're a much more diverse nation.
Right.
And you would say that we should be a much more unified nation.
Yeah. And one of the great moral causes and challenges of this generation, and thank God you and I are still in the arena fighting, is to overcome the partisanship that is leading Americans to artificially divide and also making it impossible for us to solve our biggest problems. And that's what No Labels is about. The March on Washington was a unifying event. It taught America that we have first principles, that we're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with those rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness equally.
To me, No Labels is an answer to the prayers of people that want unity, the prayers of people that want equality, the prayers of people that want an expansion of our economy, so that everyone's quality of life could be improved. And I would like to remind my Republican colleagues of Abraham Lincoln, of the March on Washington. I remind my Democratic colleagues of John Kennedy. I mean, I think we should learn from our history, Joe. And to me, No Labels is also providential. The Problem Solvers Caucus that was established by No Labels in the Congress of the United States, they have receipts, they have results of bipartisanship. It makes a difference.
Right.
And to me, there are no challenges that our nation faces that we cannot face them effectively if we work together.
Amen.
If we, Republicans, Democrats, Independents work together. And that's what No Labels is about, providing common sense solutions and a bipartisan perspective to our nation's greatest problems.